guys, it's Forever Blandy and I'm back with another video. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for all the likes and all the comments and for subscribing to my channel. I also want to thank anyone that's been reaching out to me, whether it's been text messages, in person, over the phone, whatever. Thank you guys so much for reaching out to me and asking me where the videos are. Life been lifing, okay? So today's topic is just about triggers, and it's just about making sure that you recognize your triggers so that the enemy can't use those to knock you off course, to trigger you, okay? So a lot of things that's been happening to me lately is just that it's been either phone calls that's been made to me, interactions with customers, interactions with friends, family, things that people say to me that makes me trigger. So it's like either I'm upset or I'm thrown off, where I'm crying, I'm sad, I'm worried about my family member, I'm worried about what does that mean about me, if something's going on with them. And it's just a lot of things. And so I want you to remember that the enemy knows what will affect you. He knows what's going to knock you off course, what's going to trigger you, what's going to make you react in a way that's going to throw you off course. And now you're not in alignment with where God and what God wants to do in your life. So you want to make sure that you're always aware of what your triggers are. You want to make sure that you constantly do inventory so that you know, okay, if you say this, oh, that worries me. If you do this, oh, that scares me. Oh, I know that I love my mom. So let me, if somebody calls me and say something to my mom, let me ground myself. Let me calm down. Let me do inventory of the situation before I react. Let me go to God in prayer. Let me pray and say, hey, God, this is what's going on. Help me to be able to respond the right way. Help me to be able to filter through the system, because one of the things that you have to make sure that you do as well is that you counsel yourself. So as things come in, as attacks come on your life, as people do things to you, say things that's going to trigger you and that hurts you and knock you off course, then they might not even be aware of. You have to make sure that okay, in my mind, if this happens, what am I going to do? And so what I am learning to do right now, currently, I'm growing through, is making sure that I take time to pause. Take time to pause, take time to assess the situation, take time to take a deep breath, and just really think about how I want to respond, how I want to react, how I want to allow that to show up in my body. One of the other things that could cause a trigger is just something that someone say, a movie, a smell, seeing someone that you haven't seen in a while. All of those things are triggers. And those are things that the enemy uses. Sorry, the video cut out. But if he's all out of tactics and things that he can use to distract you, to knock you off course, to make you sad, to anger you, to trigger you, if he doesn't have nothing else to do because he's already done everything and you pass the test, he's going to look for things that he know will hurt you. And so you got to think about every single time that somebody shows up in your life and they say something that hurts you, something that bothers you, something that pains you. You have to take time to think about it. Oh no, that's the enemy. You got to be able to recognize the enemy when he's coming. Recognize him, be able to know his tactics, to be able to know his strategies, the things that he used, so that you can see it for what it is. And it might be a person. He might use a person to trigger you. He might use a person to say something to you that sends you down a rabbit hole of a memory or a thought. And now you're thinking, oh my God, tornado, tornado, tornado. This is happening. That's happening. Winds are blowing. Oh my God, I'm so scared. What am I going to do? And it's like, if you just take a moment to calm down, if you just take a moment to assess the situation, you know that this is something that you already dealt with. This is something that God already got you through. This is something that God already delivered you through. So if you do that, you won't allow yourself to be triggered. So let's do inventory of our life. Let's do inventory of the things and the tactics that the enemy uses to try to get you off course, to not be obedient to God, to be so sad, to be so engulfed in the pain and in the hurt and in the anger of it that now you're not even in alignment with God anymore. Now you're not praying. Now you're not reading your word. Now you're not spending time with him. You're not in community anymore. You're isolated. You're all of these things because the enemy said something, did something that reminded you of something before, and now you're triggered. Do inventory of your triggers. Know what they are so that when the enemy does that and he tries to push your buttons and show up, you pass the test. I want you guys to be encouraged. I want you guys to know that you can get through these triggers. You can get through these winds, and these winds can blow. Matthew 7, I believe, or 8, I can't remember which one it is, but it talks about how the man built his house on sand versus building his house on a rock. You want to build your house on a rock. You want to have your house built on a solid ground. You don't want things to happen, the winds of life to blow, and it just blow you over every single time. You're defeated, you're down, and you can't get through it. So make sure that you build your house on a rock, not on sand. And don't allow the enemy to trigger you and knock you off course of what God has planned for you. Hopefully the videos will keep coming, but I'm going to be obedient and do them as God leads me to. But I hope that you guys are having a good week, and I hope that you guys can stand the test of time and don't be triggered by the enemy. I love you, and remember, you have a friend in me. Bye-bye.